So, we were talking about all those permit nightmares you've dealt with,
Oh, yeah.
and it got me thinking, like, what could be worse than trying to get something built right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're so excited, new home, new business space, huge plans, and then bam, permission becomes this massive roadblock.
Right. You're just stuck.
Exactly. And you were telling me about your experiences, and it's just crazy how complex it all is. It
Yeah.
feels like you're at the mercy of a system that makes no sense.
Absolutely. And, with construction, it's not just annoying. It's money. It's lost time. It's stress. It's a big deal.
Huge, yeah. And that's what made this whole thing in Telangana, India, so
Yeah.
interesting. Remember you mentioned that about Chief Minister Reddy launching this whole new system, BuildNow.
Oh, yeah. BuildNow. It's AI powered, right?
AI, that's the big thing. I
Yeah.
mean, just the name BuildNow, it sounds like it's supposed to be fast, efficient, the opposite of what we usually think of with permits.
Like they're actually acknowledging the problem up front.
Exactly. So that's what we're going to dive into today. What is BuildNow? What's the story behind it?
Mm.
And will it actually make a difference? Especially given, what you've been through. And to really get it, we got to look at what it's replacing, this TGBPSS thing.
Right. The old system.
Yeah, and from what Chief Minister Reddy's been saying, it sounds like it wasn't exactly sunshine and roses for everyone, you know what I mean?
He's been pretty critical of it, right? More than just slow. Like there were some serious accusations.
He didn't hold back. He basically said TGBPSS was set up to benefit the, how do you put it, the well-connected.
Wow.
And that made me think of what you were saying, how sometimes it felt like you needed to know someone to get things moving.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if it was even about your application or just who you knew.
It's like an uneven playing field, right?
Yes.
And Reddy took it further, actually accused the previous government of running a manual approval racket. Strong words.
A racket. That's suggesting something deliberate, almost like a system set up to, I don't know, maybe benefit certain people.
Maybe more than just benefit. And this is where it gets, it reminded me of some of your stories. He mentioned this Chaipani money, which, for anyone who doesn't know, basically means bribes.
Oh, right. T-money.
Yeah, and the implication is if you slip someone this T-money, your approval suddenly zoomed through, like magic.
So basically, a fast lane for the privileged or those willing to, well, play the game.
Exactly. And meanwhile, anyone trying to follow the rules, do it all online, they're stuck in this bureaucratic maze. The system that's supposed to be efficient just makes it worse.
The irony, right?
Totally. So you've got this situation, people with connections, people paying under the table, their projects are flying through, maybe even overnight.
Wow.
And everyone else is just waiting and waiting. It just breeds this feeling of unfairness.
And it makes you question the whole system, right?
Totally. So enter BuildNow. Reddy's presenting this as the answer. A system that's fair, efficient, and get this, driven by AI, not by who you know or how much T-money you can offer.
AI, that's a big change.
Huge. He's really pushing this idea that it'll level the playing field, make it accessible for everyone.
And taking out that human element. I mean, you were saying how frustrating that can be.
Oh yeah, the subjectivity, the feeling that things aren't being decided fairly. So with AI, the promise is transparency. It's all digital, all trackable, less room for shady deals.
It makes it accountable.
Right, and of course speed. AI can process things way faster than any human, so the approval should be much quicker.
That's got to be a huge relief for people who are used to waiting forever.
Absolutely. Now let's get into how it actually works. The main goal, according to Dana Kishore, who's the Principal Secretary for Municipal Administration and Urban Development, is to get rid of manual verification. He said that alone could take 2 weeks to 2 months, sometimes more, depending on, certain extra files.
Sounds familiar.
Right. And he was hinting at those extra files. Maybe they weren't always so extra. So now the AI is taking over that initial processing. It's going to check your application against all the building codes, the zoning regulations, and see if you're good to go.
So it's like having an expert instantly reviewing your application.
Exactly. And it's not just about the initial approval. There's also this thing called virtual monitoring, which is basically replacing those on-site inspections in a lot of cases.
So no more waiting for someone to come out and check.
In theory, yeah. They're going to use things like satellite images, drone footage, even photos and videos from the builder to make sure everything's on track.
That's pretty innovative. And it probably cuts down on, those potential negotiations that could happen during an inspection.
I bet. And it creates a digital record, so it's harder to mess with things after the fact. Now, Chief Minister Reddy isn't just calling BuildNow a new system. He's calling it the Telangana model.
Like their signature approach.
Exactly. He's pushing this idea of efficiency, transparency, breaking away from the old corrupt way of doing things. And he's really emphasizing this no human, no political interference thing.
It's like he's saying, look, this is a system that works for everyone, not just the connected few.
Right. And he's got big goals. He wants Telangana to be the first state with super fast building permissions, all without manual intervention. That's a bold statement.
Very bold. I mean, fast is great, but they got to make sure it's still accurate, still prevents fraud, you know?
Definitely. But even Dana Kishore, the principal secretary, he seemed really enthusiastic about it. He talked about eliminating those long wait times, the potential for corruption. He specifically said what used to take weeks or months, maybe with a few extra files thrown in, could now be done much faster with the AI.
So even the people implementing it are on board.
It seems like it. And the really interesting thing is that other states are already looking at this model. It's like they're all facing the same problems, the delays, the potential for corruption.
Makes sense. If it works, who wouldn't want to copy it?
Right. And it makes you wonder, could this be applied to other areas too? Like environmental assessments, business licenses, all these things that can be such a pain.
It would be great if we could streamline those processes, make them fairer.
It's a thought, isn't it? And Chief Minister Reddy is definitely tying this whole thing to his vision of making Telangana a megacity. He's saying that a good building permit system is essential for development, for growth, and it can't be based on who you know.
So it's a key part of their overall strategy.
Exactly. So, to sum it up, BuildNow is aiming to be a game changer. Speed, transparency, a level playing field, all thanks to AI. It's trying to tear down the old system, which was, let's be honest, pretty messed up.
And potentially replace it with something that's actually fair and efficient.
Exactly. But the big question is, will it live up to the hype? I mean, implementing something this complex, there are bound to be hiccups. Will the AI really work as planned? Will people find ways to game the system? We'll have to see.
It's a wait-and-see situation for sure, but the potential is definitely there.
It is. And if it does work, it could really change things for the better. Instead of spending all their time on connections and backroom deals, builders can actually focus on building.
What a concept, right?
Right. So there you have it, our deep dive into Telangana's BuildNow system. It's this AI-powered attempt to fix a system that was riddled with problems. We'll have to keep an eye on it to see if it really delivers.
Definitely. I'm curious to see how it plays out.
Me too. But it does make you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Could this be the future of how we handle all these complicated regulations? It's a fascinating possibility.
It is. And it raises a lot of questions about how technology can change the way we govern.
For better or worse.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other discussion.
Definitely.
Thanks for joining me for this deep dive. It's been enlightening, to say the least.
Absolutely. I've learned a lot.
Me too. And hopefully our listeners have as well. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious, and maybe, just maybe, dream of a future where getting a building permit doesn't feel like navigating a minefield.
I'll drink to that.
Cheers to that.